Would like to call to order the business meeting of the Lewis County Board of County Commissioners. There is a quorum with all three commissioners present. Flag salute. J.P. Anderson, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment. We may have someone. Carol Brock. Would you please give us your name and where you're from, Carol?
I'm Carol Brock. I'm from Alaska, but I'm here today in the capacity as one of the board members for the new Lewis County Seniors. So thank you, commissioners, for allowing us to speak. I'm here today in the capacity of the Lewis County Seniors board member. I brought a letter from our board for a request for donation for each of you personally. And I'd also like to acknowledge that Commissioner Fund has already submitted a donation that was greatly appreciated. So as not to eliminate her from the request today, there's a letter for her here too.
It's a new year, right?
We have many activities and events planned with the new thrift store opening soon. So please keep in touch for all of our fundraising moments. I'd also have additional envelopes if anybody's interested in giving the seniors a donation. I don't know if I can leave these here or not.
You can. So, Carol, tell us the location of your new thrift store. We'll just take them. Okay.
The new thrift store is going to be located right by the Ace Hardware on Market, where the old visiting nurses was. Should be opening in the next week or so, and they are accepting donations currently. So it's very exciting.
Okay. Thank you for all the work you've been doing.
Oh, thank you guys for all the help for it.
Thank you for coming. Sean Bell.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Sean Bell. I'm with RES Americas. I'm from Portland, Oregon. You know who I am. I just wanted to give you an update on kind of where we stand with the application and the process for the wind facility.
What is that facility?
I'm sorry.
And tell us about that. What is that facility?
Oh, the facility is it's a 157 megawatt project, wind project to be located on Weyerhaeuser property. 38 turbines. Hopefully commence construction this summer. But we have a process to go through, obviously, with your planning folks. So we filed several applications last week on Thursday. We're still working through the acceptance and some fee pieces that I think Lee and I will probably talk about at some point. And then additionally, we've got an agreement somewhere floating around for cost reimbursement for the project also, so the county can be reimbursed for costs that they associate with the facility. So,
can you tell us about the response from the Audubon Society?
Yeah, we've had several. We've been interacting with the Audubon Society for probably 9 months, I believe now, maybe even longer than that. I'd have to check with my permitting person. But primarily they're concerned with the marbled murrelet and the population of the marbled murrelet and the decline of that particular species. We've been working with them in conjunction with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, which we've been working with for about 2.5 years now on various studies and mitigation plans and discussions like that. So right now we're at the point where we will be filing the draft HCP document to this region, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, for hopefully their final review, so that we can button everything up and put it all in final form and then submit it to the region.
Sean, what does HCP stand for?
I'm sorry.
We get into our
Lots of acronyms. It's a habitat conservation permit. And what that does is it allows, the big concern with species of concern is taking. And taking is a kind of a broad term that means that you're disrupting in some form or fashion the life of a particular species, whether it's plant or animal. And what the service, with species that are in decline, what they want to do is make sure that if there is any taking, which includes death, which includes mortality, that taking is offset by preservation of habitat somewhere, either at the same area, same location, or at another location. And this happens to be, we're proposing habitat along the coast, so we can make the marbled murrelet habitat contiguous, which is very important for the species survival and for replacing the birds that might be taken.
Okay.
So,
Thank you for keeping us updated.
sure, yeah,
Thank you.
anytime.
Thank you, Sean, I appreciate it.
Yes. And I just want to acknowledge we have 2 elected officials that are here that haven't been here before. And we have Centralia Mayor Pro Tem, Max Vogt. Max, would you like to stand? Thank you for coming. And we have newly elected council member Sue Lund. Sue, would you like to stand, from City of Centralia? Thank you for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, employee recognition. We're going to start initially with the certificates for years of service, and we'll go down here. Five years. Lee Napier from Community Development. Come on up, Lee.
Congratulations, Lee.
Get a picture. You have to get a picture.
Good picture here. Here, I'll sit. Let me sit this.
No PV, but
And make, you got upside down.
Smile.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee.
Very good, very good.
That's awesome. Very funny.
10 years from the auditor's office, Kama Marks. Kama? Kama. Well, we'll get it to her. Yes. 30 years. David Escobar, Public Works. David. Congratulations, David.
Congratulations. 30 years. Right here.
Right here. Hold it so you can see it. There we go.
She has to take a lot to get more.
Thank you, thank you. Excuse me. 35 years. Kenneth Cheeseman. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you again. And now we go to Above and Beyond, and Commissioner Jackson will be reading those.
Good morning. Our first fourth quarter Above and Beyond goes to Heather Boyer and Kalesa Markham from the Auditor's Office. If they didn't show up either, okay, what's going on down there? They're working? Okay. These two individuals were nominated by Larry Grove. The Elections Department team stepped up in a big way following the retirement of longtime election supervisor Marianne Zumbel in December in 2016. During 2017, the elections team processed all aspects of two special elections in the spring, a countywide primary in August, and general election in November. All elections were completed without issues in a timely manner, including 3 recounts for the November general election. I believe we had a coin toss in one of those, didn't we? All the while, they were learning new job responsibilities and aspects of the election process, some of the tasks for the first time. Heather was training Kalesa while the February special election was being finalized. Heather programmed the April special election, which she then handed off to Tom and Kalesa to complete during her scheduled time off. Special accolades to Tom for stepping up and taking on responsibility for the April special election and working with Kalesa to complete that election. Kalesa, the newest team member, learned her task quickly and became a critical contributor for the 3 elections she assisted in, with the elections team immediately stepping up. All 2017 elections, including 3 recounts, were conducted in an efficient and timely manner without any issues. Heather Boyer and Kalesa Markham, let's give them a hand. I like to watch Edna fidget a little bit here, so. Next fourth quarter above and beyond goes to Gabe Anzolini, Chris Brewer, Amanda Price, Information Technology, Discover Lewis County. Are you folks here?
Yes, they are. Come on up.
Got to come on up. Thanks to a collaborative effort involving IT Services Director Steve Wold and his staff, including Amanda Price, Chris Brewer, and Gabe Anzolini, Discover Lewis County has become a driving force for tourism in Lewis County. Locals and out-of-towners alike can rely on Discover Lewis County to help guide them to the many adventures and events available in Lewis County. Attracting tourism helps the county as a whole. Lodging taxes collected in the unincorporated areas of Lewis County get redistributed, I think that's right, to entities that further enhance tourism. And thanks in large part to Discover Lewis County's efforts, more tourists are visiting and staying in unincorporated Lewis County, enjoying everything from fishing, hunting, and camping to mountain biking, water skiing, and hang gliding. And that's in addition to all of the small town festivities Discover Lewis County draws visitors to, such as Toledo Cheese Days, Winlock Egg Days, and the Packwood Mountain Festival. In 2016, the amount of lodging taxes collected in unincorporated areas of the county totaled $353,000. In 2017, that amount skyrocketed to $425,000, reflecting a huge growth in tourism. Discover Lewis County deserves recognition for its role in attracting tourists to the region. Its media campaign, from its beautifully designed and very user-friendly website to its stunning pamphlets and interactive kiosk, lays out the welcome mat to potential visitors in a very professional and polished manner. Gabe Anzolini, Chris Brewer, Amanda Price, Discover Lewis County, all nominated by Commissioner Edna Fund.
I'm a Facebook junkie, and I get on Discover Lewis County, and I love to see the Facebook likes, and we're like 25,000 likes on Facebook, which is pretty amazing, one of the largest in Lewis County. So once again, thanks for your efforts.
Our next above and beyond includes Grace Jimenez, Gladys Mendez, and Renee Shepper from the Auditor's Office, all nominated by Suzette Smith. And yes, you have to come up. There they are. Grace took the lead and, working with Human Resources, secured rates and plans through the Healthcare Authority Public Employees Benefits Board, known as PEB, that would be presented to the Board of County Commissioners as health insurance for the 2 groups. Several options were presented along with the financial impact scenarios to the county employer and to the employees in the 2 groups. Once approved by the BOCC, all employees in these 2 groups needed to be informed about the changes in session setup to allow them to learn about the plans available through PEB. Grace arranged to have the PEB representative on site for group informational and one-on-one consulting. She was available to answer any questions from employees, even while continuing with her own job duties and diligently working on the Munis ERP system analysis sessions. When a question could not be easily answered, she researched and found the answer or directed the employee to the correct PEB representative or website area. The extra effort did not stop. All employees needed to have their enrollment forms completed and supporting documentation delivered to HCA PEB by the end of the day on November 30th, 2017. To accomplish this task, Gladys and Renee jumped in to assist with verifying that all the forms were received and completed. Once all 275 employees were enrolled in PEB, the work to update all employee records in the payroll system would begin. Grace, Gladys, and Renee continued their diligence in changing all employee benefits and deductions to agree to the newly adopted rates for the non-represented and collective bargaining unit employees. Ha, that is a mouthful. Grace Jimenez, Gladys Mendez, and Renee Shepard, Auditor's Office. Our next award will go to Katie Strozik from Public Health and Social Services. Come on up, Katie. Katie has been nominated by Chief Chris Sweet from the Sheriff's Office and J.P. Anderson from Public Health and Social Services. Katie recently developed a grant-funded naloxone program, did I say that right, that provided training and issued Narcan kits to all law enforcement officers from the Lewis County Sheriff's Office, Centralia PD, and Chehalis PD. It is very important to note that during the first 2 weeks of the naloxone implementation to law enforcement, Centralia PD administered Narcan to an unconscious opiate overdose patient, and that individual survived. Katie's ability to quickly develop the naloxone program and implement it in a very short time frame was impressive. She also recently assisted county government with the development of a new mental health alternative court manager position. This process included multiple meetings to discuss a reorganization of funding that Katie played a critical role in when she discovered an error with previous FTE funding allocation calculations. Katie also did an outstanding job in speaking at a public budget meeting concerning the reorganization of the mental health alternative funding involving the local officials, including the Citizens Budget Review Committee. Katie developed a partnership with the Washington State Department of Health Early Intervention Program and facilitated a pilot program between DOH and the Lewis County Sheriff's Office Jail. Thanks to Katie, Lewis County is the first jail in the state to participate in the early intervention program that provides medication and support services to those inmates that are diagnosed with HIV and/or AIDS. Katie deserves recognition for her part in saving a life, her hard work with this project, and her tenacity in getting this program implemented for the citizens of Lewis County. Katie Strozik.
Good job.
Our next award goes to Cheryl Millman, Department of Emergency Services. Cheryl. Cheryl has been nominated by David Anderson from the Department of Emergency Services. Cheryl Millman is adept at recognizing issues before they become a problem and attacks them effectively. Few in the county have a more diverse role to fill and more areas that require expertise. Cheryl exercises her many skills daily as is required for a 911 administrative assistant senior. Recently, Cheryl wrote and implemented a simplified payroll accountability system that aided the 911 dispatch telecommunicators in submitting their time for pay. Since the implementation, payroll issues have dramatically been reduced, saving the division time and money. Being one of the highest public disclosure requested departments in the county, Cheryl has single-handedly taken on the lion's share of these requests. Cheryl has taken up the task of administering 911 testing for possible new hires, conducts coordination for their pre-hire conditions, and schedules several different courses that enable dispatchers the ability to become certified in their field. These and other duties performed are a tremendous burden that is lifted by one single extraordinary person. Cheryl's work ethics are a model for others to follow and lends great credit to herself, the 911 Communications Division, the Emergency Services Department, and Mission, the Board of County Commissioners, and Lewis County at large. Cheryl Millman. And our final awards today will go to Brad Clark, Molly Hurt, Tara Snelson, and Aline Stewart, Community Development, all nominated by Fred Evander. Front and center, folks. We start with a comment, and you probably saw this over there at Community Development as they were renovating. Please excuse the mess, dust, and noise while we process your permit. Many of us know how tough it is to live in a building which is being remodeled, but imagine how much harder it is to work in a building, especially where you serve customers when walls are literally coming down around you. For more than a month, Lewis County's permit techs have been working in such an environment and have continued to offer great customer service throughout the process. As employees that frequently go above and beyond, permit techs Brad, Molly, Tara, and Aline have embraced the challenges to the building, which has included the removal of 3 walls near their work area. The permit techs temporarily moved their workspace and have continued to process permits and offer customer service even as walls were demolished around them. As permit center customers have sought approvals to remodel their buildings and homes, they have seen the tremendous work ethic and customer service of the permit techs, even as the permit techs have dealt with their own remodel. Brad Clark, Molly Hurt, Tara Snelson, and Aline Stewart.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's really wonderful once a quarter when we do this, and as you can see, county government is very diverse in the services provided, and we appreciate every one of you providing that great service to our citizens. Thank you. And this usually happens, that there's an exodus.
We don't take it personal.
No.
Oh, are you just going to miss out on the donuts?
Okay, we'll wait here.
And for those of you who
We'll let
would like to watch this again, this is on our website, so you can watch it several times and show it to your family. So.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the notice items. That is Resolution 18-308 through 18-040.
Second.
Mr. Sutton.
Morning, Commissioners. Eric Martin, Director of Public Works, speaking to items 18-038 through 18-040. The first is call for bids for the 2018 rock proposal. The bids are due to the Clerk of the Board by 11 a.m. Tuesday, February 13th, 2018. So this is our annual purchase of rock for our various programs within the county. We are purchasing crushed screenings, crushed surfacing, top course, and actually no snow sand this time, even though the description there says snow sand. We bought most of our sand back in 2017, late 2017. So the bids, like I said, are due on February 13th, 2018, and this will be noticed immediately. Any questions?
Just as a little trivia, how many miles of roads does Public Works work on?
So it varies from year to year. This year we have scheduled about a little over 80 for chip seal, and then various places, maybe 3 or 4 miles of other work that we're going to do. We're going to do some work grinding and rebuilding up in the Ashford area. And then we have some paving projects at some bridges and possibly on Middle Fork Road. And then we also have some work we're going to do some pavement repairs on Jackson Highway.
And aren't you responsible for like 1,050 miles of road?
Yeah, I think it's 1043, I think is the centerline miles of county roads.
Quite a few. Thank you. Next.
Second is notice of publication of the county's on-call consultant roster. Again, this is an annual publication that we do to advertise for our consultant roster. Consultants for architectural, engineering, and professional services can get on this roster at any time during the year. It doesn't have to be now. But this basically allows the publishing of that roster and then also approves the Public Works Director's authority for category changes. So if we have to add a category or change a category, there's several categories within that list, as you can see there. Any questions about the roster?
Nope.
Thank you. Next one, 18040, is notice of publication of the county small works roster. So as the last one was for more professional services and engineers and architects, this one is for small works contractors. So again, it's a list that we can use for projects less than $300,000. And other agencies within the county can also sign up to use this list. As you can see, there's a list of several fire districts and water districts there that are also eligible to select off of this list for some small works. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you,
Thank
Eric.
you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the 3 notice agenda items, Resolution 18-038 through 040. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
I move to approve the consent items, the approval of minutes from the January 22nd, 2018 business meeting, and also Resolution 18-041, approval of warrants.
Second.
Ms. Smith.
Good morning, Commissioner. Suzette Smith, Chief Accountant, Auditor's Office, here present to you Resolution number 18-041. This is the weekly approval of warrants against the various county departments. Last week, we issued 320 regular warrants, number 784325 through 784495, 784560 through 784593, and 784603 through 784707, for a total of $1,506,355.48. In addition, we had draws on January 19th, 239 warrants, number 784033 through 784271, for a total of $268,722. In addition, we note the following series as a skip in sequence. These warrants were issued on behalf of our special purpose districts. Their commission approves and audits their warrants. Number 784272 through 784324, 784496 through 784559, 784594 through 784602, and finally 784718 through 784806. Any questions?
Ms. Smith, what are some of the special purpose districts that we pay bills for?
We issue the warrants on behalf of most of the fire districts, cemetery, water and sewer districts, those that do not issue on their own. Yeah. And this is all in conjunction with RCW 4224, that these need to be read into the minutes every week.
Yes.
Thank you.
Been moved and seconded to approve 2 items on our consent agenda: approval of minutes of January 22nd, 2018, as well as Resolution 18-041. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
I make a motion to approve 12 deliberation items, resolutions number 18-042 through 18-053.
Second.
So Resolution 18-042 and 043 come from our risk department, where we're approving representation for our county employees. So now we're going to the fairgrounds.
Morning, Commissioner. Steve Walton, Director of Central Services, speaking to Resolution Number 18-044, approving a personal services agreement between Lewis County and Butler Amusements Incorporated to provide carnival activities, including games, rides, and food concessions to the Southwest Washington Fair. The existing agreement between Lewis County and Butler Amusements has expired, and this is a new 5-year agreement for calendar years 2018 through 2022. The only new additions to the agreement, there's some new language in this agreement that addresses general safety items and the requirement for each ride and attraction to be inspected by an amusement ride inspector certified by the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries, and to display a current valid operating permit on each attraction. There are no other significant changes to the agreement. Are there any questions?
No, but would you like to acknowledge our fair manager in the audience?
Sure. Tamara Hayes is here. She's the fair manager, and last year, just by a point of note, the carnival had a record year. It was 20% higher than the previous year, brought in about $175,000 worth of money to the county. So, that was a good year, and we hope to continue that trend.
Yes. And also, there's the move from Discover Lewis County in the IT department. It's moving to the Southwest Washington Fair.
That's correct. And Isaac is this is his last day of doing the video portion of the county morning meetings on Monday, and he'll be taking over the Discover Lewis County part out at the fairgrounds, which is where he'll be residing as we go forward. He starts on Thursday, February 1st. We look forward to having him on board.
Yes. Thank you. Mr. Wold.
Good morning, Commissioners. Steve Wold, Director of Information Technology Services, here this morning to speak about Resolution 18-045. 18-045 is a resolution regarding interlocal agreements between Lewis County and area emergency response agencies. Lewis County Information Technology Services began offering area law enforcement agencies remote access to county services such as our 911 database in late 2005. The program quickly expanded to include fire departments and other emergency response agencies. We now update these agreements annually, and this morning's resolution will authorize the Director of Lewis County Information Technology Services on behalf of the county to continue to offer our services to the following agencies through the current calendar year 2018. Those agencies are Centralia Police Department, Chehalis Police Department, Morton Police Department, Napavine Police Department, Toledo Police Department, PL Police Department, Fire Districts 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 13, 14, 15, 20, 48, and the Riverside Fire Authority. Any questions?
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Ms. Gray.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Sheila Gray, Washington State University Extension Director. I'm here this morning for Resolution 18-046, which is to approve an interagency agreement between Lewis County and Washington State University for the delivery of outreach education programming for the citizens of Lewis County. This is an annual agreement that we come forward with.
And what are some examples of some of the education you provide? Just happen to
So happen to have. We have 49 set dates of programs already in play for community, ranging from gardening topics to recycling, and also food safety and preservation. So for example, last Friday, we had a program on the basics of safe food preservation, so that if you're so inclined, that then you know what to do and what not to do so that you can preserve food for your family in a safe manner. We have these available downstairs and also as a download on our website, lewis.wsu.edu.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Morning again, Commissioners. Eric Martin, Director of Public Works. And I'll be speaking to deliberation items 18-047 through 18-050. The first is to initiate a county road construction project and assign a county road project number, or CRP. And the project that we're talking about here is the Townsend Road Bridge number 223 replacement project. So this resolution authorizes preliminary engineering, right-of-way purchase if necessary, and construction of the bridge. A little bit later today, we're going to have a hearing which will amend our 6-year transportation improvement program to include this project as well as a couple of others. Any questions about that initiation of that CRP number?
And it's on the map, it's between Unalaska and Morton, right?
Yes, it
Below
is.
State Route 508.
Little Townsend Road there off of Cinnabar Road. Any other questions about that one?
Thank you, Eric.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric.
Resolution 18-048 is to accept an offer to purchase surplus property located on Roundtree Road in Boistfort, subject to the conditions of Lewis County Code 3-30-400. This was property that the Roads Department purchased as a part of a project at the end of Roundtree Road there, where the river was encroaching and threatening Roundtree Road. The road was shifted to the west, and so as you can see, where the road right-of-way is now is where the road lies. So this aerial photo is the old road. The new road is further west. But in the process, we bought property there. It just made more sense to buy the entire property. So there's 2 parcels there, and with a barn on one of them that we're selling. It's approximately 3.8 acres combined. And the offer that we have is for $51,000 to a Mr. Derek Tharp. So the process here is that this would initiate a notification that we're going to make this sale. It would be notified to the public. The public would then also have an offer to come in with another offer, and there's sort of a waiting period. So this transaction probably won't take place till sometime later in March, assuming we don't get another offer. Any other questions about that one? Resolution 18-049 is to approve and accept quitclaim deeds from Reliable Enterprises and Reliable Project LLP to Lewis County for additional right-of-way along Harrison Avenue in Centralia. So this was a project that Reliable Enterprises has been building housing, I believe, although I haven't been involved in it too much because it's been, the city of Centralia has been administering these permits because it's in their urban growth area. But the right-of-way is still county, and so as part of that process, they needed to dedicate 5 additional feet on the west side of Harrison Avenue right-of-way for transportation and utility improvements. And so this quitclaim deed then accepts that additional 5 feet. Going on, Resolution 18-050, authorizing supplement number 1 with SCJ Alliance for the Lewis County Borst Avenue Improvement Project. So we contracted with SCJ Alliance last year to sort of do some preliminary engineering and grant applications. And as you know, we received that grant application for almost $3.8 million to work on the Borst Avenue project. So this would be a contract supplement with SCJ Alliance for $567,734 for the engineering that's needed to get this project ready for construction in 2019. Of that amount, first of all, TIB is funding 75% of this project.
What is TIB?
TIB is Transportation Improvement Board, which is a state board that funds transportation projects statewide. They are funding 75% of this project, which includes the design, engineering, right-of-way, all the costs. And then we are also leveraging our partnership with the city of Centralia to help. And so the county has about 38% of the costs of the additional 25% cost that's the local match, and the city has about 62%. So that $567,734 will actually only cost us a small portion of that.
We certainly appreciate the partnership with the City Council in Centralia for moving this forward.
Yeah, I won't take up too much more time to talk about it, but Friday I did have the opportunity to go up to a TIB, Transportation Improvement Board meeting in Olympia. The board has, I think, quarterly meetings in Olympia, and they asked Lewis County to come up and present on the project, so I had an opportunity to go up and talk to the board about the project and why it's needed and some of the things that we're planning on doing up there, and they seemed very interested, and obviously they funded the project, but it was a good chance for us to kind of promote that project back to the board and let them know that we appreciate their help in getting this funded.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes. Mr. Skinner.
Good morning, Commissioners. Steve Skinner with Department of Public Works Solid Waste Division, and I'm speaking on Resolution 18-051. This resolution, we have determined the solid waste, one of our excavators are getting beyond the expected life that we had. So this would allow us to purchase a new excavator off the NJPA, which is a National Joint Purchasing Authority. The county has used this multiple times in the past. We're going with its contract number 032515-JDC, and we're purchasing this through Popeye Equipment. We've had a lot of discussion on which company and which might be the best suited for us. This price was right there, almost exactly the same as NC, but we felt they're located closer to us. Service is better because of the location, so we went with that, wanting to go with that process. And the excavator we did budget for it in 2018. It was approved in that budget, and the funding is coming out of a crane reserve that is set up specifically for these
purchases.
pieces of equipment that get replaced about every 7 years.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Good morning, Commissioners. Warren McLeod, Lewis County Coroner. I'm here this morning to talk about Resolution 18-052 and 18-053. The first resolution is to approve an annual contract with our forensic pathologist to provide autopsy services. As you are familiar, we do not have our own forensic pathologist, and this is the Northwest Forensic Pathologist is the service that we've used for several years now on an annual contract for a set amount. And without that, we would be paying $1,500 per autopsy and $750 per external exam. And under this contract, it would be a set rate of $88,000 for 2018. And to reiterate the need for this set amount, in the first 3 weeks of 2018, we have completed 10 autopsies at our office, which is 1/5 of the total autopsies from last year alone. So, any questions on that resolution? Okay. Second resolution. I'm sorry.
When you provide your statistics every month, it's really impacting us.
Yeah, our statistics are sad. I wish I could report zero, but that's not the case. The second resolution, again, is 18-053. This is the annual contract with mortuaries, both Brown and Stickland mortuaries, for the removal of decedents. We do not do our own removals through our office, and I have done a study and presented it to the commissioners in the update, our monthly update, as to what that cost would look like if we bought 2 of our own transportation vans, outfitted them, and then had employees that were specific to the removals of decedents. we would be up over 200,000 a year. And basically what this contract is the same rate as last year. It's $270 per removal, and we average 12 a month times a year. It comes out to about $38,800. Any questions? Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Warren.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the deliberation items, starting with 18-042 through 053. Any comments or questions from the board? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we're moving into the hearing section of our agenda. So first, we will have a staff report, and we are looking at the agenda item adopting the amended 2018 annual construction program and 6-year transportation improvement program. And for those of you who do have these devices, you can also get on our website, our calendar, and pull up these documents too, as well as look up on our screen. Once again, we will first have a staff report, followed by a question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. And testimony will last for 3 minutes, and Candace will be timing anyone who gives testimony. And anyone who would like to testify should sign up on our sheet at our podium. Now, let's move for the staff report. Mr. Martin.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Martin, Director of Public Works. Yes, and I am speaking to this Resolution 18-054, which is to amend our annual construction program for 2018 and our 6-year transportation improvement program for the years 2018 through 2023. So pursuant to RCW 3681-121, all cities and counties are required to adopt and submit a TIP, or Transportation Improvement Program. And ours was adopted on November 13th, 2017. And copies of those programs were furnished to Washington State Department of Transportation, the Southwest Regional Transportation Planning Organization, County Road Administration Board, and the Transportation Improvement Board. This is an amendment to that, to both of those documents, for a very good reason, and that is because we have funding that we've received for 3 bridge projects. The funding comes through a surface transportation program, the bridge portion of that, which is federal funding that is administered through WashDOT, or DOT, Washington State DOT. So the funding is for 3 projects. One is for Pleasant Valley Milepost 2.46 Bridge Scour, in which we received $359,940. Stoll Road Milepost 0.57 Bridge Scour project, in which we received $445,460. And as I mentioned earlier, when we created that CRP number, the Townsend Bridge number 223 replacement project, for which we received $1,462,120. The first 2 projects are 100% funded. The last project, the Townsend Bridge project, is 86.5% funded. So then the rest of that would be matched by county road fund dollars. Total for these 3 projects that we're amending our annual construction and TIP is $2,267,520. We will be publishing these in the Chronicle, or we published the notice of hearing in the Chronicle on January 16th and January 23rd of this year. Is there any questions about this project or the amendment or the funding?
It's good news.
It is.
Very good news. Thank you.
They're much needed projects. Thank you.
Okay. Board members, any more questions? Public? Do we have any public that would like to ask questions? Colonel Averill.
Thank you, Commissioner. Colonel Averill from Centralia area. There are 2 Pleasant Valley roads. I'm just curious. I presume this is the longer one that's off of 603 rather than one that's up by LB?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we will close the question and answer period. And Mr. Martin, would you like your opening comments to be incorporated into the hearing?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now we will open the hearing for public testimony. And we will look at our sign-up sheet. We have no one who has signed up. So we will close the hearing for public testimony.
I move to approve Resolution 18-054 to adopt the amended 2018 Annual Construction Program and 6-year Transportation Improvement Program for the years 2018 through 2023.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 18-054 to adopt the amended 2018 Annual Construction Program and 6-year Transportation Improvement Program for the years 2018 to 2023. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we will move to the next hearing
Thank you.
regarding public records request policy. And we are adding our risk manager, Paulette, to our meeting.
Hello, the hearing is starting.
All right. We will first have a staff report followed by a question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. And once again, if anyone is testifying, they have 3 minutes. And you can also avail yourself of signing up for comments. Staff report. Paulette. Uh-oh.
Commissioner Fenn has asked for the staff report.
Okay, that will be Casey.
Come on up, Casey.
Casey Mauerman, Ms. Mauerman.
You get to sit at the table,
Yes.
Casey.
And Ross, would you like to join
Why
her?
don't you go up?
Mr. Peterson, please join her. And as you introduce yourselves, your name and what you do.
Hi, I'm Casey Mauerman, Public Disclosure Manager for Lewis County.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ross Peterson from the Prosecuting Attorney's Office. I'm the Public Records Deputy Prosecutor for the county.
Okay, thank you. Tell us what we have before us.
You have before you a policy to adopt the public records changes that we have made to revise and rescind the previous public records policy established in 2008. This is to update the policy itself as well as the fee schedule in accordance with the changes of the law of last year.
Could we pass out the copies that you have? Or someone give it out to the audience? Mr. Wold will take care of that. Thank you.
Commissioners, RCW 4256 is the chapter that deals with public records access. The whole purpose of public records is to provide for transparency in government activities so that the public can have access to information that they deem is important to them for whatever purpose. Our policy has been in effect since 2008, and since that time we've had a dramatic increase in requests for public records. It has become fairly untenable at this point. We need the to reconfigure how we operate, and so this policy creates tools for the public to follow, guidelines for them and procedures for them to implement requests, but it also permits the county to be more responsive to those requests in a more predictable and hopefully timely fashion. It also allows the Public Records Office and its staff to be able to create a system whereby they sequentially process these requests instead of being inundated with several multi-requests at the same time. I believe by adopting this policy, it will address these issues as well as provide a mechanism for administrative review for folks who don't feel like their requests have been addressed before they go to the litigation route. By creating that additional step, we will hopefully avoid litigation costs and have an alternate means of resolving on a more budget-conscious manner.
Any questions from the board?
First, I would like to thank everyone for all their work on this. It's been a long time coming, and I think the other thing on that is, because I know that people had questioned why we didn't have an updated policy in place. Well, it's very complex, and I think the way that you and your staff did it, and Paulette and everyone, that it was very comprehensive, and we took the time necessary to do it right. And I do appreciate all your time and efforts on this. Very much appreciated.
I do have a question for you. So if someone submits or has submitted, say, 100 requests, what would happen? Are they become a frequent requester? Can you step us through that?
I can, yeah. So in the policy, it does establish the, as Mr. Peterson said, the mechanism for responding to our multi-requesters at one time. We've, in the policy, it addresses the multi-request queue and how my office would respond onto each individual request.
Okay. All right. Now we'll open it up for the public to ask questions. Anyone? Okay. We will close the question and answer period. And Mr. Peterson and Ms. Mauerman, would you like your opening comments to be incorporated into the hearing?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. So now we will open the hearing for public testimony. We have no one offering public testimony.
Does Paulette have any questions or comments on that? I know that she's on the other end of the mic.
Yes.
Can you repeat that? I just heard my name.
Well, I'm just wondering if you had any comments, or would you like to give some opinion on it, or what your feelings are?
I think I heard the commissioners give a lot of praise to Casey and Ross, and I want to second that, and third and fourth that, of all the work that they've put into this. I'm grateful for that. And for commissioners, I think it would be best to adopt this policy as it is written at the time.
Okay.
Thank you, Paulette.
Thank you.
And in this policy, as many of you who've looked at it, does have a fee schedule that goes along with what the state has put out. So it's been evaluated. Okay. We'll close the hearing for public testimony.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to, first on Resolution 18055, rescind Lewis County Policies 08-208 and 08-209 and establish an updated public records request policy.
Second.
And once again, I'd like to second what folks have said about all the work that's gone into this. Prior to the state passing the law regarding this, we were up there at the legislature talking to people what the issues are. Once again, it has cost us $500,000 to put this all together with added staff, because at one time we've had over 1,000 requests that come in. We are making efforts to put things online so people can research their own way to find it. So whatever we can do to make it available for the public and that they can see the transparent government we are. Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 18-055 to rescind Lewis County Policies 08-208 and 08-209 and establish an updated public records request policy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
thank you,
Paulette.
Paulette. Now we'll move to the good of the order. Anything you'd like to?
Just a couple things here. I know that we have Justina with us today, and apparently it is going to be her last official duty right here at the courthouse. So I would just like to thank you for all your hard work and dedication to your profession and also to the county. So you will be missed. So thank you, and good luck in your next endeavors, which you are going to Lewiston, Idaho. Okay. So good luck over there. And you will be reporting on? Okay, good.
Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. So thank you.
Yes. Any? Well, last week I went to Homeless Connect, and Mayor Pro Tem Max Vogt and I were over there, and later in the day we heard reports that there were a lot of people that were served by Homeless Connect. There's a number of agencies that spent time there at the fairgrounds, so appreciate everyone who worked on that. And as most of you know, this is so we can collect a point-in-time number of people who are homeless in Lewis County.
When will we have an official number on that, by the way? I know that each year we, just for comparison purposes.
I think by next month.
Okay.
Okay, because they are also going out into the counties to several places that there are homeless individuals that did not come in, and they know where they live.
Commissioner Funds, since you brought that up, I had an opportunity to talk to Josh Gehring yesterday about the homeless shelter for a few minutes. And I think that we have served over 1,000 people to this point with the warm weather shelter. It has proven to be, I think, very successful in its intent. There have been minimal, to my knowledge, minimal problems. I think Steve Walton has been on top of that and has shared those things with us, but they have been things that were corrected immediately and quickly and did not have any effect on any of the folks that were staying with us. And so I think it was a good venture. And I don't know how many more days we will be open. I think, are we scheduled to stay open until about the end of March? Is it end of March? Okay. But so far it has been a very, very good venture for us, and we really appreciate the hard work of Centralia Police Department, also Chehalis Police Department, Bethel Church, and all their hard work at this. And so just providing a warm place for people to stay. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yes. Thank you. All right, let's move to the press conference. Does the press have any questions for us?
Here's your last chance.
Last chance, Justina.
Susan, do you have any questions?
Okay. Anything you'd like to share?
No.
Okay. Colonel Averill.
Again, Ron Averill from Centralia area. Of the two items that I would make, you know, when I was a county commissioner, one of the things that I really hated was the Chronicle reporters tend to rotate on us all too often. By the time we get them trained, so they know what's going on in the county, they go on to another job. And Justina has done a terrific job, both for us and for the city of Centralia, in reporting government activities of the two jurisdictions. And so, Justina, I certainly wish you the best of success. I know you will achieve it because you have the capabilities when you get there to Lewiston. The second area that I want to talk about is we had a meeting of the Small Projects Committee from the Flood Authority last week. As you know, in the in the original capital budget, there was about $9.6 million for small projects, and one of those projects is the China Creek project, which actually has two phases to it. And we've really been a long time on getting Phase 1 done, primarily because the Corps of Engineers took almost 2 years to provide us the permits for us to do that project. It's a project which has some changes to the topography of the China Creek, so it provides better storage there. Because of that, when we did not get a capital budget, the China Creek project actually couldn't get started, and the money that we had for that project was used because it wasn't in the capital budget, it was in the operating budget, was used to help keep the flood authority floating while we went through.
Floating is probably not a good
When you're talking flood authority, you want to use the right words, right? So at any rate, the capital budget is now complete. It has been approved, and we've got a fix, which, as I mentioned last week, doesn't give us everything we want, but at least it gives us a working capability around the Hearst decision. What we are doing in the Capital Budget Committee, because the Office of the Chehalis Basin, which Commissioner Fund is a member, has to look at the funds that we have out of that capital budget and reaffirm just where we're going and which projects we're going on with. One of the things that we did in our meeting is on the China Creek project, because it has a Phase 1 that was already funded in the last biennium, and Phase 2, which is funded in this biennium, was to move some money back to Phase 1 because they were $200,000 short in the time between what we originally estimated that project would cost and it finally getting approved. The cost went up on us, and that was, again, the reason could not start that project on time. It's a fish window problem as well as a money problem. So we will be proposing to the OCB that we move $200,000 out of the new Phase 2 back to Phase 1 so that we can get that finished and start the process on Phase 2. We're going, obviously, because we were not able to start projects, we're going back to all of those that were in Priority 1 and asking them for updates on how much they will actually cost and what's the likelihood of them getting completed in the biennium, because there are 6 months that they've lost already. And then looking at some other projects, because it's not unusual in the small projects arena for them to come in underfunded, and we then have some money that we can move to get other things done. So we started that process, and I think this week that we will make it. Scott Betcher will be making a presentation to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
And we also have the Hearst decision, and I'm wondering if Ms. Napier would like to talk to folks about where they can find some information about Hearst for Lewis County. Yes.
Good morning, Lee Napier, Director of Community Development. Candy, can you pull up on our website? Or who has control? Okay.
Is it wells@lewiscounty.gov?
If you could go to Lewis County's Community Development site. And then if you could go from there. So this is the Lewis County Community Development site. We have broken it down into 3 sections. Get a permit, where you can get your information about permits. Explore county information is a variety of things that have passed through Planning Commission. And then we have Hearst under track long-range planning. Can you click on that? And so in addition to other things, the top thing right there now is responding to Hearst. So permitting for exempt wells for domestic services. And so, yes, it passed January 19th. It was signed by the governor. It took effect for our office the first working day, which was January 22nd. So now people may be wondering, how does this apply to me? So if you come into our office and you are getting a building permit that relies upon a water source, we'll be looking to see what that water source is. If you're connecting to an established water system, you're moving forward outside of the Hearst solution. If you're connecting to a domestic well, you're moving inside of the Hearst decision. Then within that, there are different layers and paths, and also I'll just kind of quickly just hit how you can figure out which path you are. Candy, can you click on Department of Ecology RIA map? So if you look at the legislation, it talks about water resource inventory areas. That is a cue for us as to which path you're following. So if you're wondering, does this apply to me? You would go in under this website, and in the top left-hand corner, you could type in your address. So if you typed in, could you type in the address for the courthouse, please? And so it popped up. Actually, just click anywhere outside of it, and I think it will stay. So, so if you click on the dot, you get the more details that say you're in the Upper Chehalis Water Resource Inventory 23. And so then that gives you a path forward, and we'll be putting more information on our website as to give. You could read the text of the bill, but it's kind of complicated because there's so many paths and terminology that may not be familiar. Even our office is trying to digest it. So we'll be putting up hopefully a diagram that helps people understand what path you're following. What we've done for the Lewis County is we've taken the water resource inventory areas that cross Lewis County, and we've color-coded them. So we've color-coded them green, which means the path that you just need to have a well driller statement, and then and you don't pay a fee, and you're not restricted. If you're in the yellow, you need a well driller statement. You pay a fee, which is $500. $350 is eventually remitted back to the Department of Ecology, and you move forward with a well driller statement with the time of your building permit application. And then there's another layer of red, which doesn't apply to residents of Lewis County. So that's kind of a quick highlight overview of it, and we'll continue to put more information up for our citizens. Can you go back to the website? Let me make sure, Candy, thanks. So then also on the website, we have the bill report, the bill docket, a press release, and then Department of Ecology's Hearst response. So we'll continue to update here as we have information available.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lee.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Lee. And your entire staff.
Yes, yes.
With no further business, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Moving second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you for coming today. And once again, you can watch this on Channel 3. It's shown 4 times a day. Or go to the website and watch it.
You are invited to immerse yourself in the beauty of nature in all 4 corners of Lewis County, Washington. From our fields to your table, farms in the west share their bounty. Limitless landscapes, forests and mountains beg to be explored in the east. Fish our many rivers and lakes in the south, and discover where history and culture intersect in our twin cities. Explore it all by visiting our Facebook page and plan your next getaway at discoverlewiscounty.com. Culture, history, and adventure all come alive when you discover Lewis County.